Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent. Hey guys, welcome back once again. What I wanted to do today was something a little bit different. So usually I will talk through the tools and techniques, principles about how you can progress on your own journey of self-mastery and the things that have helped me. Today I really wanted to talk about my why. So if for those of you that have been with me since the very first episode, I spoke about a bit of my backstory, but I really wanted to elaborate into why Forever Better Academy and why I do what I do, and give you a little bit about how this all came to be. So basically, I started driving a truck when my girlfriend was pregnant. So I was a chef qualified, trying to pursue music at the time, and found out that my girlfriend was pregnant, and went and got my truck license and started driving a truck full-time, trying to earn some money for my family. 10 years later, I was still driving a truck, wondering what happened to my life. Where did that go? I can't believe that I'm in this truck and I'm going nowhere very fast, And it felt like nothing was ever going to change. I was a father at the time of 2 young boys. We were struggling to make ends meet. I had a great deal of difficulty to provide for my family. And I have no formal education outside of high school. I finished high school, got my senior certificate. For those of you that know, we had, I think it's changed now. When I was in high school, we had an OP system, which was an overall position, 1 being the highest, 25 being the lowest. I got a 21. So almost the lowest you could get. And it wasn't that I wasn't, smart. I just didn't apply myself. I didn't care. I couldn't care less at school at the time. I had no direction in my life. I didn't even know how I was going to change my situation, but I knew I needed to do something. I had, like any father, I wanted to give my wife and kids everything. I wanted to be the man for them. That's my role. I understand. I had to make enough money to provide for them and give them the opportunities they deserved. They deserve to have all these wonderful things. They shouldn't miss out because I don't provide for them. That's my one role in this family, And at the time, we were struggling to stay afloat. I can remember I was getting paid about 50k Australian a year to support all 4 of us, and I remember talking to my wife about it, and just the absolute feeling of despair in the pit of my stomach when I realized that we were going further into debt every week. It was only a small amount at the time, but $20 further into debt with the money that I was earning, which basically meant working and a full-time job and being paid what I was being paid wasn't enough. We were actually spending more than we were making, and it wasn't that we were spending on frivolous items and I didn't drink, don't smoke. I just literally wasn't earning enough to pay for our everyday bills and just the expenses of living and providing for us. It's probably one of the lowest points in my life. I would say I felt this complete frustration and just I felt worthless. Like there was a real sense of anger and rage in me. Like I was bitter at other people because I would look at someone and think, how are they doing it? I'm capable, I'm healthy, I'm reasonably intelligent. I I couldn't understand. I was so frustrated, and I used to just take it out. You could ask my wife and kids, like I look back now and I cringe at my behavior and how I was. I was angry, and I didn't realize till later I wasn't angry at the others. I was angry at myself because of the situation that I'd allowed myself and my family to be in because of my actions. And I remember as a little kid, right? I I got these two toy cars when I was little. My mum had given me these awesome scale cars. There was a Ferrari Testarossa and a Porsche 911, and they were color change. So you could put them in hot and cold water, and the paint would change color. So cool. And I don't know if it was just that excited me, but the from that moment, I was captivated by Ferrari, and I was like, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a Ferrari. Oh, I'm gonna have a Ferrari. And I can recall, when you're young and you have your future's bright because everything is ahead of you. You feel like opportunity, everything is a possibility for you. I remember in this moment when I was driving the trucks and we were going further and further into debt, I resigned to the fact that this was all I was ever going to be. And I remember clearly it was the first time that I ever thought there wasn't possibility. I thought, I'm never going to have a Ferrari. And I know that might sound stupid to some people, but it illustrates the point. What it was not about, I need to have a Ferrari. It was the first moment in my life where I felt that I'd lost possibility in my life, that there was a ceiling and I was at it. Does that make sense? I'm trying to really express this. I'm having a little difficulty, but that first moment where I just felt I'm never going to be any better. This is as good as I'm ever going to be. And just when that hits you and you're like, is this all I am? Am I capable of any more? Have I peaked? Is this the best I can do? And yeah, just that. I hated telling my kids when they go to school and they come back on holidays and their friends had gone overseas, or they'd done some amazing stuff with their family, and we couldn't even afford we could barely afford to put petrol in the car to drive them, on a day trip locally, and I hated telling them that. It was the most gut-wrenching thing, letting my family down. I as I said, I felt like my future was non-existent. It was the first time it felt like there wasn't possibility for me, and just accepting that feeling. Like, it's something you never want to do. You never want to limit yourself and just take it for face value and go, oh well, that's what it is. I guess that's what it is, And as I was driving trucks, it was just the same thing, repetition day in, day out. Like, I'd go to work at like 5, 6 in the morning, and I'd be barely awake, just trying to get motivated. I hated it, dragging myself up, just every single day. Absolutely hated, getting out of bed at that time and going somewhere I didn't want to be, because even doing it, I was losing money, And you'd get there, you'd load your truck up with brown boxes, drive around to all the delivery addresses, deliver those brown boxes. Then I'd have an empty truck, and then I'd drive to all the pickup addresses, and I'd go and pick up some more brown boxes. Then I'd drive back to my depot, and I'd unload the truck and take all those brown boxes and stick them on a conveyor belt. Day in, day out. I remember just looking at the conveyor belt, watching the boxes go down one after another every single day. Same thing. And looking at it and just being like, geez, is this it? Am I living? Is this what my purpose is? It was surely, I had ambition when I was a kid. There's more to it. There's got to be something here. This can't be it, And then and just one night, my wife and I were watching YouTube videos, just wasting time, just mucking around as you do. It was a Maxim Beatty, I think is how you say it. One of his videos is this funny comedian, and just watching a string of his videos, and then all of a sudden, this ad come on, and it just hit me. It was really odd. It was like, for those of you, I think I've spoke about this before. It was a Tai Lopez ad, right? And the first thing was he spoke about books, and there was a bookshelf just full of books, and he didn't talk about anything flashy at that point. It was just, this is why books are important, and you need to read every single day, and how books can change your life. And it felt like, when that happened, it felt like, bam, this electricity, this bolt of lightning hit me dead in the middle of my chest. And I don't know why. Maybe because the universe sensed that I was fed up and frustrated, and I was sinking, I was drowning. And I don't know if it was just one of those serendipitous moments where it threw me a lifeline and said, hey, pay attention, wake up, look at this. And I don't know why it resonated with me, but I saw it, and it just struck me as different, and there's something there that I knew that I had to pay attention to it. I just looked and I'm like, you need to focus on this. There's something here. Listen and see what this man has to tell you. And so from there, I'm like, okay, now I've got direction that I've been longing for. I can make a plan. I understand that I need to do something here. So I committed to, taking my education into my own hands. And this is the first time that I really felt a desire to educate myself, because as I said, in school I got an OP21, like I may as well have, I probably could have got a better result by not showing up, in all honesty, or just bare minimum attendance, and I might have even got a better grade for all the misbehaving and mucking around that I was doing. So I couldn't wait to get out of school. I never had any interest to stay there. And then for the first time in my life, I really understood the value of education, and not just the value of education as a just in general terms, but the ability to take charge of my own education and decide what was important to me, what was relevant to what I wanted to do, and I could dive into what I wanted to learn. And the freedom that I felt in that moment, where I could find joy, and I could find excitement and anticipation in my life again, because I was looking and diving into education that was relevant to me, that benefited and excited me. It was specific to what I needed to learn, not just learning calculus because it was on my timetable at school, if that makes sense. So I spent every waking moment just diving in, like when I was driving the truck, I had the phone connected to the Bluetooth on the truck, and I'd consume, like, I was working, anywhere between 10 and 14 hours a day, and I would just consume podcasts, audiobooks, TED Talks, just everything I could get into my head. Like, I almost envision it was like Neo in the Matrix, I know Kung Fu, just fill my head, just put it in there, go, I got to take in it, everything. It was like, it didn't matter what it was. At that point, it was just, following the rabbit hole. This led to this, led to this, led to this, and I was excited. So I was absorbing, it was probably like 8, I could easily take in 8 episodes of a podcast in a single day. And then I'd come home and I'd read a book at night, or I'd read in the mornings, and then on my lunch break, I'd be in the truck alone. So I'd sit and I'd pull out a book and read as well. But for all that action that I was taking, and building that momentum and moving forward, and taking action on my plan that I decided to educate myself, it was still a problem. And as I said, I didn't know what to what to look for, what was worth listening to, what was valuable content and what wasn't, and I was spending all this time taking in and absorbing all this information without really filtering it or having it filtered or understanding what's worth my time and attention. Is this serving me? Is this bringing me value? Is it of benefit to me to take this specific content? But you don't know because you've got no reference point or basis to work from. So you're just taking it all in and hoping that what you're absorbing is something worthwhile, and you often don't know until you actually spend the time to absorb it and consume it. The biggest thing was, as I said, we had so little money at the time. I wasn't convinced or sure that taking a risk and investing this money into something that I didn't even know would work was a good decision. Like, how was I going to go to my wife and say, hey, darling, you know how we don't have enough money to pay our bills right now? I want to spend some of that money that's not really ours on this online course. Is that all right? Like, the fear. Like, I'm married to an ethnic woman, so I know if I do something stupid, there's a consequence to it, right? And the idea of going to an ethnic woman and telling her, hey, we don't have enough money for this food, but I want to do this online course, she's liable to leave me. That's crazy. That's it's a hard thing to get through and think, is this something I want to tell her? So I still had to deal with this abundance of all this information, and I'm what's worth spending money? How do I approach this? And some of the things I spent money on, that were worth it and helped me to level up and bring more money into our family. But as I said, if you're consuming the wrong kind of information, it's actually setting you further behind. And the key being, time is the most valuable resource we have. You can always make more money, even when you're in the situation like I was, where it feels like you never will. But I'm proof that you can. It's happened for us. You can always make that more money, but you can't ever get that time back. So in the end, this is the why. So after consuming all this different content and trying to figure it out the hard way, not necessarily on my own, but without any guidance or support and assistance on my journey, right? I decided to create Forever Better Academy, because once I started to collate all the relevant data and look at and see the patterns and the trends across all these elite top performers in different industries and different fields, and I could, again, the matrix thing, I felt like I was seeing the matrix, starting to see the patterns. The more you consume, as you're consuming, and especially in that rapid rate that I was consuming it, when you listen to 8 podcasts in a row, back to back, you pick up on the common traits, the common principles, the common habits, the beliefs, the mindsets, the actions, the disciplines, the rituals, all of those things that are common to the people that are achieving, that you aspire to be like. You start to see it. It's very easy to see it because it's repetition, right? So I decided, how do I give back? What do I need to do? Because I am so thankful for the opportunity that the universe enlightened me with by giving me direction and showing me how to take charge of my own destiny and my life again, and move forward. So I built Forever Better Academy, and I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the things, distill that information, remove all the stuff that's irrelevant, and pay it forward and give those same tools and principles and techniques that have enabled me to take my family from barely $50,000 a year to support a family of 4. I tripled my income with these tools, with the mindsets, the approach, the way that I changed and shifted my life, and it's growing more. I know how to do this. I've got the roadmap because I studied my butt off for 5 years learning this stuff. So now I know that I've got to share that, because when you have something that's valuable and special, that you understand what it did and the impact that it's made for me personally on my life, I have an obligation and a duty to share that with other people, because other people were kind enough to take their time, which is that valuable resource that they never get back, to share those things with me to help make my life better and secure my family's future. So I want to do the same for everyone. And that's why Forever Better Academy. That's like, I'm pumped. Like, I know this is like the energy. I'm excited because I feel so aligned with my purpose of helping and serving other people through this. I knew when I was a little boy, very early on, that I believe the meaning of life is different for everyone, and it's whatever you make it. You get to decide what the meaning of your life is. And for me, I just knew when I took away all the noise and I listened, I knew in my heart that helping people was the meaning of my life. Serving other people. I just had this feeling that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. That's why I was born. And now that I'm on my journey. The journey doesn't end, I'm on my journey now where I'm in a position where I can give back, and I can help empower other people, and in turn I want to spread that good energy and that information that changes your life and gives you what you're looking for. And then you can do the same for others. It's this beautiful ripple flowing effect, because it just keeps traveling out through the universe. And maybe one day it'll come right back around to where it started for me, I don't know. But I know that this is what I need to do. So, building Forever Better Academy gives me that platform, and it allows me to share these things with you. It's that hub, that center that we can all be a part of, and it's inclusive. Everyone's welcome. It's for anyone who wants to be better and improve in their lives. So in the end, what that really means is it's given me the opportunity to provide that almost catch up or quantum leap for other people that I felt at the time in my life. I'm 37 years old now, and in my early 30s when this journey started, I felt like I was so far behind everyone else. I would watch friends and other people that were even younger than me, providing for their children. They had nice homes, they had nice cars, they had, ability to provide opportunity, they could travel. I felt behind. And it's a weird thing to feel like you're catching up, and it's not, and that's the thing, you're not really trying to the whole keep up with the Joneses thing, but what it is, I think, is this instinctual feeling of knowing that you're capable of more. And that's what it really is. And it's not that I wanted to have things that other people had. It's just that I wanted to provide for my family the things they deserve that other people can do for their families. And that's what it really came down to, And now with Forever Better, other people don't have to go through 5 years of digging and trying to decipher what's worth listening to and what's the right information for them. So distilling it down and giving you those tools that are refined through all that research and study and putting into practice and seeing what does work. The real win for me is not so much. I mean, I'm very blessed and proud that I can make the most of what I've been given, and the greatest success that I feel that I've gained from all of this is I was able to grow into the man and the husband and the father that I knew I could be. There's nothing like setting out on a quest and getting where you wanted to go, and I was so desperately wanting to be a good man, a great man to my family. And I'm living it now. I'm finally doing it. You know, like I could cry. It's just it's a weird feeling when I look back and feeling like I was such a different person, and that I felt like I wasn't capable at all. And once I had the right tools, my entire life changed. Like it's such a quantum leap. It's different. I can't. It's so hard to express, like, the belief that you can go from being a person who can't afford to put fuel in your car, and going further and further and further into debt, to a person that can provide for their family and also for others. I could barely provide for myself, and now I can provide for more people. And I just want to keep growing and build that, and provide for as many people as possible, and impact and change their lives, so they feel that freedom and that joy that I feel now in my life. You know, and I yeah, that's my story. That's my why. So man, it's an interesting feeling, like reliving that and going through that, and actually feeling the emotion and remembering those days and what's to come. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to do this and make this podcast right now, this video for you guys. And I just want the most success and freedom, and I want the same for all of you and each and every one of you. And I know that I can help with that. So come along with me. You know, I want you to be part of Forever Better Academy. Who could you become? That's what it's all about, you know? Who could you become? Where do you want to go? It's limitless. It really is. So that's me for the day, guys. This is Wade Vincent. I am truly blessed to have each and every one of you in my universe, and I thank you, and I look forward to us growing and improving our lives together. All right, guys. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye.